You've probably noticed that people do things around you they wouldn't even try with others, and you keep wondering why it keeps happening. The truth is, at some point, you gave them the power to do that. Yes, you did. And it's not because you are too nice or too kind, but because you lack self respect. And before you argue with that, let's walk through 8 common signs proven to be associated with lack of self respect. If 4 or 5 sounds like you, then you have your answer. 1. Over explaining everything. Work with me carefully on this because many people confuse politeness with over explaining. This is not about being articulate or considerate. This is when simple personal choices come bundled with justification, disclaimers, and backstories, especially when nobody asked. You don't just say you can't attend. You explain your energy levels, your schedule, your guilt about it, and how you hope they are not upset. The subtext to this is clear. Please don't be angry at me for choosing myself. Yes, that's what you tell people quietly when you do that. This pattern reveals that somewhere along the line, you learned your boundaries need approval. The point here isn't becoming cold or dismissive, it is to shorten your responses and sit with the discomfort that follows. The moment you stop narrating your life to be accepted, respect, both internal and external, starts to rebuild. Number 2, laughing at disrespect to diffuse tension. This one is subtle and that's why it is dangerous. It often hides under the banner of being easygoing or not being dramatic. Someone crosses a line, makes a jab or belittles you publicly, and you smile or laugh to keep things light. What matters is not whether disrespect happens, it happens to everyone, but what you do immediately after. When you laugh, you unintentionally signal that access to you doesn't require care. Over time, people don't just repeat that behavior, they escalate it. Correcting this doesn't require aggression. A calm pause, followed by a simple statement that didn't sit right with me, resets the tone. Number 3, you keep entertaining people who are inconsistent with you. Let's be precise here. This is not about occasional business or genuine life interruptions. This is about patterned inconsistency, like attention when it's convenient, silence when it is not, and you enduring it while telling yourself you're being patient. When self respect is shaky, inconsistency feels familiar. You don't question the behavior, you question your expectations. You adjust your standards downward to preserve the connection. The remedy is less emotional than people think. You watch patterns, not promises. You keep filling in gaps with hope. Consistency isn't demanded, it is required for access. When you quietly disengage from unreliable behavior, you teach people how to treat you or you remove those who refuse. Number 4, you say it's fine when it is not and then resent people afterwards. This isn't emotional maturity, it is emotional suppression, dressed up as peacemaking. You ignore discomfort in the moment, hoping it will fade, then resent the person later for not magically knowing your limits. The real issue here is delayed honesty. You silence yourself to avoid conflict, then let bitterness carry the conversation internally. Self-respect changes the timing, not the tone. You speak early while the issue is still small. A simple that doesn't work with me is fine. The earlier the truth is spoken, the less dramatic it has to be. Number 5, staying where you're tolerated instead of valued. This shows up most in environments where you feel invisible unless you're useful. Your ideas are ignored, your effort is expected, and your absence would barely cause a ripple. The confusion comes when familiarity masquerades as loyalty. You stay because you've invested time, not because the space honors you. A useful test is emotional clarity. After interactions there, do you feel expanded or drained? Relief after imagining your exit is information. Self-respect often doesn't announce itself loudly. It begins when you stop overstaying in places that shrink you. Number 6, you disrespect your own time first. Pay attention to who gets your best hours versus who gets the leftovers. You can't claim you value yourself yet consistently postpone your own goals while showing up promptly for everyone else. And people can see through this, and so they will expect you to always put down your own goals to satisfy their own needs. This isn't generosity, it is internal neglect. When your time is freely given but your future is perpetually delayed, you are teaching yourself that others matters more than your own trajectory. And beyond that, you are treating people just exactly that, and they will treat you like that. Repairing this starts privately. You keep promises to yourself even when there is no audience. Time discipline is one of the earliest and clearest ways self-respect becomes visible. Number 7, constantly seeking validations for your own decisions. You decide, then immediately look for someone to co-sign it. Not for advice, but for reassurance. The decision wasn't the hard part, standing alone with it was. This isn't humility, it is distrust in your own judgment. Over time, this habit weakens your confidence because every choice feels provisional until someone else approves. And to stop this, you need to start making decisions alone without explaining them. Let your nervous system learn that independence is survivable. Self-trust strengthens through repetition, not consensus. Number 8, abandoning your values to avoid being alone. You soften your convictions, overlook deal breakers, or stay silent about things that matter just to keep people around. The cost isn't just compromised values, it is identity confusion. You begin to lose clarity on who you are when no one else is present. Reclaiming self-respect here requires choosing a non-negotiable, just one, and honoring it no matter who exists. Loneliness is temporary. Losing alignment with yourself lasts much longer. On a final note, self-respect is not an attitude, it is a pattern of decisions, and the most telling signs shows up not in dramatic moments, but in what you repeatedly allow, excuse, and prioritize when no one is watching. If 4 or 5 of these sounded like you, watch again and take notes. Your boundaries will thank you. And you can tag your friends who you think needs to see this, not just for themselves, but also for you, because sometimes what we don't see in ourselves, others do. Until next time, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel because I make videos like this that make people like me and you better every day. Bye.